If you're interested to know about a group of 5 sponsorship for refugees outside of Canada, then listen to this video. It will be a quick overview of this program and how it works. To sponsor refugees from outside of Canada, you need 5 people to form a group. It is called Group of 5. Each member needs to be Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada, 18 years of age or older. This 5 group members should live in the same community where the refugees are expected to come. And also at least 3 of these 5 members should have sufficient income or sufficient funds available to be able to make a financial commitment required for at least 12 months of the cost of living of the refugees when they arrive in Canada. And one thing that has recently been added to this requirement is that each of these 5 members should provide a criminal record check to make sure that they don't have any serious criminality. These are some of the specifications that each of the 5 members needs to have. And once they agree to form a group and work together to sponsor refugees, then they need to complete their application forms, provide the necessary information and documents, and obviously police record check, and sign their sponsorship applications. Though the process is not as simple as I'm explaining right now, it requires some detailed work in terms of identifying who has how much income, whether those income are valid and applicable for the sponsorship program or not. So quite detailed work requires to put the sponsorship application properly and make it a complete application. So once this side of the forms, supporting documents and everything is ready from the sponsoring group side, then refugees need to complete their own forms, sign it, and provide a copy of a refugee recognition letter, whether those recognition letters are issued by United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or it was issued by the government authority where the refugees are living. For example, South Africa has its own system that they interview asylum seekers, and if it's based on their criteria, if the person is deemed to be a convention refugee, then South African authorities issue refugee recognition letter for them. So that should be included with their application form, along with one photograph that meets the permanent resident photo specification as outlined in immigration website. So overall, refugee forms, supporting documents in permanent resident photo. From the sponsor side, application forms, notice of assessment or proof of funds that they put forward for the refugee sponsorship, copies of their Canadian passport or citizenship certificate or permanent residence, and also original RCMP criminal record check. All these things should be put together, and then along with refugee forms and documents should be emailed or mailed to Canadian Case Processing Center in Ottawa. then the immigration will process especially look on each of the sponsors to make sure that they are eligible. If each of the sponsors meet the eligibility requirement, then the application will be forwarded to Canadian Visa Office abroad, where refugees live. So depending on the visa post, certain regions it takes longer, certain regions it's a little bit shorter, but they need to complete their steps in their process, interview refugees, and hopefully everything goes smoothly and refugees is accepted. And Canadian embassy issues permanent resident visa. Then the final step would be to get exit permit from the host country. So exit permit from certain country is simple and straightforward. For certain countries, a little bit time consuming. For example, 1.2, we had issues from Turkey once. Canadian Embassy issues permanent resident visa for refugees to come to Canada. Then sometimes it was taking months and months to complete the process for exit permit from Turkey to come to Canada. So overall, you need to consider from 18 months to 3 to 4 years, depends how complete the application is and how accurately you respond to immigration inquiries, and also how easy or difficult the exit permit process is from the host country where refugees are living. I think that's all. Hopefully it will give you a little bit information about refugee sponsorship program. And if you need further details, you can reach us at immigrationpotentials.ca.